All right, let's look at the homework 10.5, problem number 1. All right, so we want to find the Taylor polynomials of degree 1, 2, 3, and 4 for this given function here. All right, so let's do that. All right, so let's see, first term, we want to compute f of 0 over 0 factorial. Right, remember that the 0 factorial is defined to be 1. So this is just going to be 1. Right? So we just have to find f of 0. Right? So f of 0 would be e to the 0. So this is going to be just 1. Right? And then we look at the second derivative, first derivative, f prime of x is equal to, right? So you have e to the negative x over 3, but you would have to multiply by derivative of the inside function. So derivative of negative x over 3 is negative 1 over 3, right? So just using a chain rule with the exponential rule. All right, then if you plug in, so if you find f prime of 0 over 1 factorial, right? And again, 1 factorial is 1, so it really doesn't do anything in this case. All right, so if you plug in 0 here, you get e to the 0 is 1, so it's going to be 1 times negative 1/3. So you have a negative 1/3. All right, so from here, we know that the S1, Taylor polynomial of degree 1, so S1 of x is going to be, all right, first term is 1. All right, second term coefficient is negative 1/3. Then you have to put x, right? All right, we got that. All right, so let's put that one in there. All right, so 1 minus 1 over 3x. All right, let's do S2. So we need to find the second derivative. All right, so here, right, derivative of that is constant is already there, so negative 1/3. Right, so that's this constant there. All right, if you take the derivative of e to the negative x over 3 would be e to the negative x over 3 multiplied by another negative 1/3. So I'm going to square that. All right. Then we can see that this is going to be, we're going to have f double prime of 0 over 2 factorial, right? So on top, so if you plug in 0 for x, e to the 0 is 1, right? Negative 1/3 squared would be 1 over 9. So you have a 1 over 9 over 2 factorial is 2. So this is just going to be 1 over 18, right? So now we have S2 of x is, of course, first two terms are exactly the same. All right, next coefficient is negative 1, positive 1 over 18 x squared. All right, so let's put that in there. All right, so we have a 1 minus 1 over 3 x plus 1 over 18 x squared. All right, let's do S3. All right, take another derivative, f triple prime of x is equal to, all right, so you can see what's going to happen next. You have e to the negative x over 3, and now this is going to be cubed. All right, so if you find f triple prime of 0 over 3 factorial. All right, so what's that? All right, so plug in 0, e to the 0 is 1. Negative 1 over 3 cubed would be negative 1 over 27. All right, then 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1, so this is going to be 6. All right, so this is going to be negative 1 over, let's see, 6 times 7 is 42. And 6 times 2 is 12, so 162. Right? So maybe I'll clean that up. Let's see. 160, so 1 over 162. Right, with the negative sign. All right, so which means that S3 is going to be, all right, 1 minus 1/3 x plus 1 over 18 x squared minus 1 over 162 x cubed. All right, so let's type it in. All right, so you have 1 minus 1 over 3x plus 1 over 18 x squared minus 1 over 162 x cubed. All right, we just have to do one more. All right, so let's take fourth derivative. All right, so this is going to be e to the negative x over 3, and then you have a negative 1/3 to the fourth power. So this is going to be fourth derivative f evaluated at 0 and divide by 4 factorial. All right, so this is going to be, all right, so 3 to the fourth is 9 times 9, 81. So it's going to be 1 over 81. All right, then divided by 4 factorial is 24. All right, so this is going to be equal to 1 over, let's see, 81 times 24. All right, 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. All right, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. So you have a 4491. So you have 1 over 1944. All right, so therefore, S4 is going to have 1 minus 1/3 x plus 1 over 18 x squared minus 1 over 162 x cubed plus 1 over 1944 x to the fourth. All right, so let's type it in. All right, so the last one, we're going to have 1 minus 1 over 3 x plus 1 over 18 x squared minus 1 over 162 x cubed plus 1 over 1944 x to the fourth. All right, let's check the answer. All right, it came back. Looks like we got all 4 of these correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.